Hi, welcome to Barking Mad, welcome to vlog 17. Let's roll the cinematics and then we get down to business.
Center of attention, they all want some. I'm like fire, hot as the sun. The dance floor is burning, call 911. Hands on my body, I'm loving the heat, but it won't come easy, nothing's for free. If you want me, then prove it, baby.
Hello and welcome, and if you're a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. A little bit of a mishmash of different things about my life. It was originally about doing the move Malta to Water, and that might still happen, but that's not just right now though. So I do Amazon Flex, which is where you deliver parcels, whether it's logistics parcels, which is what you order off of Amazon, or whether it's food items that you order through Prime Now, which is basically Morrison's. So some of those are done through Morrison's stores, some are done through Amazon warehouses. Basically, in general, the logistics pays £13 an hour and the Prime Now pays £15 an hour. Obviously, you're self-employed, so you've got to take care of your own tax, etc., and your own expenses like your car, your fuel, the maintenance of the car, and anything else that can be deducted. So what I've done is I've had several friends who have shown interest in doing Amazon. It's not a quick start thing. It's not going to get you money next week, but it does take several months or weeks at least for you to get accepted and for you to start receiving the work, as subject to demand as well. So I started this, I think I applied something like July, and I actually started at the beginning of November last year. I started doing just, if you can hear puffing and panting, it's not someone out of view doing anything. It's either Dotty or most likely Mr. Toto, who, as I'm not talking to him, has got himself in a bit of a tunnel, bless him. Toto! Heyo! Heyo, Dotty! Heyo. Anyway, so I had recorded on my action cam, which I've never used before, a Casso 7 Librave. It's meant to be quite a good little camera, and I bought it on a Black Friday deal with Amazon. And I recorded a little thing after I'd done Amazon each day. I've done a bit of an intense week. Not as intense as I was originally going to. Anyway, and I did a little clip lasting about 30 seconds on this camera, only to just go to download them just now and realise I had it in fast motion, so there's no audio. It's just me moving around like a donut rather fast. What do you mean that's nothing unusual? Cheek of it. So hence I'm having to record this bit of the last. The intention was to do as much as I could with Amazon and see just how much I could actually earn. You are meant to be restricted to about 23-24 hours a week. But to go to further afield depots just really wasn't worthwhile. It's not financially worth it. And I'm not doing that just for the sake of it. So I live in Gosport. For me to go to Worthing or Littlehampton in a fossil fuel car, which I've got a diesel Skoda, which you can most probably see through there, all nice and clean, valeted today. I'd come away with very little money, having paid out for fuel to get there, virtually a gallon to get there, a gallon to get back, and then most probably a gallon to fart around delivering parcels. So that's what? Nearly 20 quid, 19, 20 quid roughly in diesel off the top of my head. Why do I do these things like that? And you know, if you're only earning £22.50, by the time you're taking your, or £30, you're taking your 20% tax off as well, you're most probably in a negative situation. So I've stuck to local depots. Now my local depots are Morrison's Portsmouth, Amazon Prime Now depot at Sedgensworth, which is Fareham, about 8 miles away. And the Amazon Logistics depot, also at Sedgesworth, a much bigger depot, a huge depot, it's almost like a little town. Also the same mileage, it's just around the corner from the Prime Now depot. They're the ones I've stuck to. Other ones I consider would be Hedge End Logistics, but that does tend to send you in the heart of Southampton city centre all the time. There is one I'd like to try, and that's over in Tottenham, and apparently that sends you into the New Forest. I haven't tried that one yet, and I think that's on the cards to try. But once again, it's an hour to get there and an hour to get back. So it's supposed to be a gallon each way, or as good as a gallon, 3/4 of a gallon. And then you've got you driving around doing logistics. Now, logistics takes a lot less mileage. Once you get to your destination, you'll find that all the deliveries are most probably within half a mile or a mile is all you're going to do while you're delivering. But you'll do a lot more deliveries. I tend to park up in the middle of the street if I've got a load in the street and just take a big IKEA bag and go do them all from that. Say keep moving the car for 3 houses or something. Whereas with Prime Now, whether it's Morrison's or Amazon Prime Now, you could easily drive 20 miles to deliver a parcel, then another 10 miles to deliver another one. My furthest was to Micheldever, which was 34 miles from the depot. So I had 8 miles odd to get me to the depot, then 34 miles to get to Micheldever, and then back to the depot and back home because I had to drop some bags off afterwards because I was doing logistics next day, and you can't have anything in your boot for that, you need all the boot space. So you will do a lot more mileage, but you do get £2 extra an hour for doing Prime Now. So that's 15 quid an hour. So it's not too bad going. Is it worth it? Well, we shall have a little look through what I earned in this week. So this week was quite an intense week. Some days I did 2, other days I did 1, but I did something every day for 7 days. You got my fuel costs, my outgoings, and what it would be if I had an EV, electric vehicle, i.e. a Hyundai Ioniq 28 kilowatt like I had before, and just how much money I could actually still make on top of the diesel. Obviously, I've got to consider if I'm taking a loan out or if I'm putting it on a credit card, even 0%, it still needs to be paid back. So I've got to put that factor into it as well. Is it worth getting the EV just to do that? So we will see. A bit more on that information at the end. But it really is good. It's really easy to do. You have you go onto the app, you have all the blocks that are available come up. You just click on the ones you want. The more you click on, the selection does tend to reduce down so other people get a chance. And if you do decide that, oh blast, I've got the dentist that day, I can't do it, or I've got to take the dog to the vets or something like that, then you can just go into your calendar, and as long as it's 45 minutes before you start, you can delete it with no adverse effects on your work record with Amazon. If you just accepted everything and deleted half of them, then you're most probably going to see a lesser range of blocks come up as being available, because they'll think you're a bit of a time waster, to be honest. If you accept a block that's within 45 minutes of running, then you have 5 minutes to cancel it out with no adverse effects. Generally, if I'm doing it within 45 minutes, then I say I'm doing it. I try not to do logistics if it's piddling down with rain, because most of the packages are cardboard, even the envelopes are cardboard. It's great packaging, great for recycling, well done Amazon, very little plastics involved. But cardboard and wet don't always go well together. Yesterday I was doing a Prime Now, which isn't actually in this, because it's outside the week that I did it. and the very second to last one, it absolutely torrentially hailed down. I got soaked, and well, the packages didn't, thank goodness, because of my speed of getting from the car to the doorstep. But you know, some of these bags are quite heavy, so that's why I don't do it in the torrential rain. I don't mind doing Prime Now if it's drizzling or a little light showers lightly. I don't mind doing that. But logistics, no, I'm a bit of a fair weather girl for that one. So anyway, I'll show you what I've done this week, and that will all be on the chart that comes up shortly. And then it will also show you how much I earned, how many miles I did, and you'll see the variant in miles. And one of those days, I just went to the depot, there wasn't any work, and then came home, and that still was like 19 miles and £2 odds worth of fuel. Just doing 8 odd miles there, 8 odd miles back. It adds up. So you do have to bear this in mind. Anyway, I hope you find this informative, and if you are thinking of doing it, then please give it a go. You've got nothing to lose, it costs you nothing to set it up. It does take, as I say, a little while. They do checks on you, and that's done, I believe, from California, but it's a government check. It's really strict. I didn't bother mentioning my name change back in the early 2000s, thinking they don't need to know that. Oh yes, they found that out, and I had one chance left to get it right, and yeah. So I told them about my name change, that I then reverted back a few years later, so there we go. Anyway, hope you find this interesting, and thank you very much for watching. I'll say now, please subscribe, please give me the thumbs up. If you give me the thumbs down, hit the button twice, there's a reason behind that. And I'd love to hear your comments, what you think. And if you're doing Amazon, let me hear what you think about it. You take care and enjoy the rest of this vlog. Hello. It's so much easier using the phone camera. Right, okay, so that was my week. Hopefully that's all shown up okay. And now I've just done the sums, and I'm going to turn you around to look at the computer screen in a minute. So what I've done is I've listed the days I've worked. Some days you'll see I've done 2 shifts. I'll go through them very briefly. How the type of shift I've done, whether it's Prime Now, whether it's logistics, and how long it was for, and how much I've earned, how many miles I did in that day, and then how much it actually cost me. And I worked that out as 0.115p, 11.5p basically, sorry, per mile. And that's based on diesel being £1.25 a litre, which it is at the supermarkets at the moment. So it gives you a bit of an idea, and then I've done a summary down the bottom, which is backlit pink. Total income, well, it's averaged an hour. That's quite impressive. Less 20% tax from Mr. Taxman, and then less the cost of my diesel. And this is obviously being pessimistic, because hopefully that diesel cost will come off my tax bill. I've also then listed what I would take home as totally net profit, and what that equates to an hour, which is also quite an eye-opener, to be honest. Anyway, so here goes. I'm going to swing you around now. That didn't work, did it? Okay, so there we go. That is a whole week. That's from a Thursday and to the following, sorry, from a Friday to the following Thursday. So on the 14th, I did a 1.5 hour Morrison's, £22.50. I did 39 miles, and that cost me £4.48 in diesel. On the 16th, I did Amazon Prime Now at Sedgensworth, 1.5 hours. That earned me £22.50. It was 47 miles and cost me £5.40 in diesel. On the 17th, I did 2 Prime Now at Sedgensworth shifts, 2 hours earning £30 and a 1.5 hours earning £22.50, and they totaled 32 and 19 miles respectively, costing me £3.68 and £2.18 in fuel. In fact, the 19 miles ones was the day that I sat there and didn't go anywhere, hence why it's so low in mileage and so low in fuel costs. That's just me going from my home to the depot at Sedgensworth and then back again. On the 18th, I just did a 2 hours Prime Now at Sedgensworth, £30 income, 39 miles, costing me £4.48 in diesel. On the 19th, I felt energetic and I did 2 Prime Now shifts, one at Sedgensworth for 1.5 hours at £22.50 and at 28 miles, costing me £3.22 in diesel. On the 19th, I also did a Morrison's for 1.5 hours, which I earned, £22.50, and that was 47 miles, costing me £5.40 in diesel. And finally, on the 20th, the day that I got blown about with no signal and then got soaked on at the very end, I did 3 hours logistics from Sedgensworth, earned me £39, bearing in mind logistics does £13 an hour as opposed to Prime Now, which does £15 an hour. That one was 41 miles. Isn't that amazing? From my home in Gosport to Fareham, Sedgensworth, then over to Old Portsmouth, and then back to my home in Gosport is 41 miles. You wouldn't believe it. Because once you're there doing logistics, you really travel less than half a mile for the whole time you're there. And that cost me £4.71 in fuel. So my total hours for that week were 14 and a half hours. My total income was £211.50. And my total mileage for Amazon that week was 292 miles. That's quite amazing how that adds up. That cost me £33.55 in diesel, which isn't too bad, but if it was electric, each of those days, I'm just having a brief look down now because I hadn't calculated it, each day would be roughly about £1.40 in home charging overnight costs. Overnight charging on Economy 7, I pay 9p a kilowatt overnight. So it'd be roughly about £1.20 to £1.40. Let's go pessimistic. £1.40 times 7. I hadn't written this down. Times 7, and that is £9.80. So I would have actually made just over £20 more profit. Going to the profitable side, summary down below in the backlit pink. Total income £211.50, which averages £14.58 an hour. Not bad going. Less Mr. Taxman, £42.30. Less my diesel, which I'm going to be pessimistic and take that off, £33.55. Hopefully that would come off of the tax and I'd only end up paying £9 roughly tax. So I take home, being on the pessimistic side that I've worked it out there, £135.65, which is my net take home money. That equates to £9.35 an hour. That's not bad going, is it? Considering if I was being optimistic, and that 135.65, so you add £20 on roughly, if I'm taking the diesel off of the tax, and if I add, what did I say that was roughly? It was say £10, £20 extra I'd save. So if I had an electric car, the realistic side would most probably be about £175.65 take home, charging it at home, which isn't bad. I'm just going to put that up there. Actually, I'm going to end this here. I'm just going to add the column. Okay, so what I've done now, I've just added what if I had something like Nissan Leaf 30 kilowatt or a Hyundai Ioniq 28 kilowatt or anything bigger, battery size. They would cost me this to charge it up, being pessimistic amount, so thinking I've used it for a lot of other things every night. I most probably wouldn't even need to do that, but I'm going to say that I needed to charge the car up overnight, every night. So you'll get around about 120, 140 miles out of the, 100, 120 out of the Leaf, and about 120, 140 out of the 28 kilowatt Ioniq. So that going on the Ioniq, because that's the car I favour most, the most chance of getting, that equates to £8.40 at the maximum charging up for that week from home. Not bad going. And if we just summarise that as an example, total income was £211.50 from the week, averaging £14.58 per hour. It's only just slightly down on the £15 an hour from Prime now because of that one logistics I did for the 3 hours on the 20th. Less 20% tax, can't get around that, that's £42.30. Then taking the being optimistic and taking the £8.40 it cost to charge a car that week off of the tax. So my take home would amount to £177.60 for that 14 and a half hour week. And that averages out to, or equates to, £12.24 an hour. And that is not bad for someone just delivering parcels. I don't think so. So there we go. I've got a little doggy pestering me for love and attention. So I didn't submerge myself as much as I intended to. I did intend to do a lot more, and I did initially intend to go to further afield depots. But at the end of the day, in a diesel vehicle, the question is, if I went to Worthing and just did one, I'm going to come away with literally a £5 profit, if that, if I'm lucky. So it's really not worth doing. So I stuck local as much as I could possibly, and I did a variety of both the Morrisons, Prime Now, which is my favourite, at Sedgensworth, and the logistics, which I do also enjoy. You do, but the beauty is you go to all different places. You don't know till you turn up. The app is fantastic. Yes, there has been a slight, not fallout, but Amazon will accuse you or mention you've done something wrong, but they won't go into any detail, and they won't ever ask you for your version of it. And I don't think that's fair. The incident was that someone came out of a different flat with their name, knowing my name, so they were expecting the delivery, saying, oh, they're staying at this other flat for now. I can't scan it at that other flat, so I had to go to the other flat where there was no one there, obviously, because they were outside with me. Driver support okayed me to give the parcel over, that's fine. And now I'm being told I did wrong. So I'm arguing my case because I had authorization to give that over. That's another story. At least I know the incident, and I know that next time I must probably take the thing back to the depot and let them sort it out. So anyway, it's a good little earner, and I love doing it. Yes, there is wear and tear on the car, but if you have the car serviced, I have it serviced twice a year doing this sort of mileage. And I need to increase my mileage allowance on my insurance, which comes due in July. So yes, as long as you keep your car up together, you haven't got an issue, whether it's electric, diesel or petrol, or anything in between, hybrid. So yes, I will very strongly think about changing to an Ionic 28 kilowatt, because that could have easily done all that. And to be honest, for 14.5 hours a week and earning over £170 take home, I don't think it's bad going. Most importantly, you will take care. I'm returning to a job I've done before, so I'm going to be doing less Amazon than I have done for a little while anyway. But I do still intend to keep my hand in doing it on my days off, which is 3 days a week. So watch this space, and let's see what the next vlog's about. I hope you found this interesting. I know a number of people, I've at least recommended or suggested 5 people to this. If only there was a referral code and I got something out of it, but never mind. I can but recommend this as an ideal way. It takes months to set up, months to be accepted, and months to get going. So if you want to earn some money next week, this isn't going to happen. If you wanted to earn money, this is going out in end of May. If you wanted to earn money, say about August time, this most probably will be about for you. So you take care, stay safe, and be good.
I'm loving the heat, but it won't come easy. Nothing's for free. If you want me, then prove it, baby.